Following the launch of the project, the next step was to identify displaced people in KATASOMWA Rutoki Camp and in the MINOVA Health Zone.
Here we are in the village of Kihanga 2. We came to register the displaced from Kihanga 1. The hills that separate North and South Kivu were behind me. We are currently at Rukubo Primary School, where we will be registering 51 households who took refuge here. The displaced people are going through a difficult time. Displaced households lack kit nefaye.
Following the identification of displaced persons in the various target intervention areas, provisional and then final lists were published. To limit duplication, each case was handled in such a way as to give as many people as possible the opportunity to receive assistance. Having identified the displaced people in our intervention zones, we were able to move on to the next stage, the distribution of NFI kits. 4,200 displaced people benefited from the aid. When kit NFI arrived at the Rutoki camp for the distribution, you could see the joy of the beneficiaries, many of whom had given up hope. For them, this aid is a new beginning. A month before the distribution, while we were doing the identification, we met Fura Riziki, a displaced woman from Masisi, a single mother of 10 children. She lost everything when her makeshift shelter in the Rutoki camp burned down.
My name is Fura Riziki. I come from Masisi Kadirisha. My shelter had caught fire. I'd gone out to farm, and when I came back, my shed was on fire. I'm a mother of 10 children. In order to feed them, I work in the fields of the people of KATASOMWA.
A month later, we found Madame Fura Rizeki at the distribution site, receiving her NFI kit. She had regained her zest for life.
I received the bowls, cans, plates. The package contains everything as promised. While I was suffering, you came to comfort me. I thank you, and I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Several other people, including Fura, have been helped and are starting to feel hopeful. Having completed distribution in KATASOMWA, we continued our work in the MINOVA Health Zone, where 3,170 kits were distributed. The villages targeted were Birambo, Kitalima, Kihonga, and Chembumba. The beneficiaries were overjoyed to see this help reach them.
My name is Justine Dusabi. I had been identified by RHA, and today I'm happy with what I've just received, my NFI kit. I was given plates, mats, and even underwear.
I'm glad to see RHA. They came to identify us, and we've successfully received our kits. I received cups, mats, basins, plates, loincloths, blankets, and a hoe. In any case, I am happy and may God bless you.
The distribution of NFI kits in the MINOVA Health Zone ended with dancing and singing. These people who had lost everything were able to put smiles back on their faces thanks to USAID-funded assistance. After distribution and our various intervention zones, an evaluation of the project and its impact was carried out from KATASOMWA to MINOVA. Despite difficult road access, the assessment team visited all the zones: KATASOMWA, Chibumba, Kitalima, Kihonga, and Birambo. During the evaluation, the beneficiaries were delighted to see again the team who had come, to see how they had used the NFI kits they had received. They took the opportunity to express other challenges they face. At the time of the evaluation in KATASOMWA, the beneficiaries showed their enthusiasm and satisfaction with the assistance they had received. From USAID, they sang songs of gratitude. Once the distribution of NFI kits and the monitoring of the project's progress had been completed in South Kivu, the team moved on to Maniema province for the wash part of the project, which takes place in the Kabamber territory, more specifically in Wamaza. After arriving in Kindu, the team set off the next morning. For Wamaza, it took the project evaluation team 3 days to cover the 390 kilometers of difficult road. The next morning, the journey began at 6 a.m. 170 kilometers were covered that day, from the town of Kindu to the village of Kiunji. "60 kilometers later,
Water has entered the carburetor. The motorcycle has broken down. The bike won't start and the road is in very bad condition. We've just traveled 60 kilometers from Kindu to here."
After repairing the carburetor on one of the motorcycles accompanying the team, the car got bogged down a few kilometers. Further on, the road had to be cleared to continue the journey. In sweltering heat of over 33 degrees, the team worked for over 2 hours to get the Jeep out of the mud. This caused a delay, and it was in the village of Kiungi, a little further away, that the team spent the night and was able to repair the alternator, also damaged during the journey.
Presque. Trop maçon. Maçon 50.
After spending the night in Kiungu, the team woke up early in the morning to continue their journey to Kasongo and see how the jeep could cross on motorized barges on the Congo River. It took 130 kilometers of passable road to reach Kasongo.
Ukikuwa ulishafika pale hapa kuna kazi. Ndaenda tu hapa. Ndaenda pale huku.
The road to Kasongo was not easy. It took the team several hours to reach the Kasongo River. Arrival at Kasongo near shore at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The land cruiser was put on motorized barges and crossed to the other side of the river to reach Kasongo, then on to Wamaza, where there was still 75 kilometers to go. Once in Kasongo, the team spent the night. They left in the morning to cover the remaining 75 kilometers to Wamaza. Leaving Kasongo, the team headed for Wamaza. The road, in very poor condition, required several roadworks to enable the jeep to make its way. Base in Wamaza around 1 p.m. after a briefing on the purpose of the assessment with the local team. The team then presented the civilians to the authorities and briefed them on the activities to be carried out during their stay. Day 1 of the assessment, we headed for the village of Omari Katoyo, some 20 km from Wamaza. The villages of Katoyo, Omari, and Omari Lumamba have benefited from the construction of 2 water springs thanks to this project, which was funded by USAID. The welcome was warm, and songs of thanks to USAID for its assistance rang out, testifying to the joy of the community.
We came with the person who was sent by USAID to see what kind of work RHA is doing in the village of Kitoi Lamanda. She will introduce herself. She will tell you why she's here.
We'd like to extend a warm welcome to RHA and the entire team that came to visit us. Thank you very much.
My name is Sarah. USAID sent me to come and see the work that RHA is doing here. After I see what the RHA is doing, I'm going to write up a report and send it to USAID. Isn't it? Thank you very much.
The team visited the springs in the village. They measured the flow of water from different springs. We met with Fatou, a resident of Kitoi-Lamande. She welcomed us into her home and expressed her gratitude to you, CAID, for the assistance.
Here we are in the village of Lamande Kitoi. The inhabitants of our village are satisfied with the work of RHA. RHA brought us a development project. We had no drinking water and our children drank dirty water that made them sick, which is not the case today. RHA has built us some quality sources. Today we drink clean water. We were taught about hygiene and environmental protection. We were given pallets to build a new toilet that would meet the standards, as our old toilet smelled bad and polluted the environment.
The team then moved on to the neighboring village of Kitoi-Omari, where they were warmly welcomed. The villagers also expressed their gratitude for the project.
My name is Namwadewa Farei. I bless the Eternal for sending RHA to our village. We suffered a lot, we did not have any springs and we drank dirty water. Our village is located on a hill, which meant that all kinds of garbage flowed into the undeveloped spring. Those who allowed RHA to build these springs, God bless them. We need a health center in our village. We have to travel more than 10 kilometers to be treated in Wamaza. When we accompany women in labor, most of them don't make it to the health center. They give birth on the way and some die on the way. The children also usually die of tetanus.
This is how the team ended the first day before heading to the next village.
We're here in the village of Mirambo, and I'm the village chief, and we'd like to welcome you to our home. We'd like to say thank you to the RHA team. They've done a great job in our village, building us 2 good springs. Here's the toilet. We received it thanks to assistance from RHA, funded by USAID. We had been suffering for a long time because we didn't have a toilet that met hygiene standards. We were provided with slabs to build standard toilets. RHA not only built water points, but also taught us how to protect our environment.
Banatusaidia, tunapata toilette leo ya mzuri. Banatutilia mfiniko ile yani banaita dalete. Na bakatupatia mafunzo jinsi gani ya kuboresha.
We also have training courses on hygiene to prevent waterborne diseases, thanks to the RHA teams who are always on hand.
Here we are in the village of Kabuyumber, at the spring of the Muter. This spring is built with a 3,000-liter reservoir, which will serve the population of this area.
During this assessment in the Wamaza Health Zone, 19 villages were visited. 18 simple springs were built and 4 springs with reservoirs, bringing the total to 22. 5,420 trees were planted and slabs were handed over to the population for the construction of hygienic toilets. Wherever the team went, the beneficiaries of this project showed their enthusiasm for having been assisted by USAID and their gratitude. Although other challenges remain, they hope that RHA will be able to convey their cries of alarm to the donor USAID. In this part of the country, access to health care remains a real challenge, and in other places residents have no access to drinking water. RHA and its teams, with the help of their partners, are doing their utmost to give hope to vulnerable populations in the DRC. In the eastern part of the country, in South Kivu, MINOVA, KATASOMWA, 4,020 households of displaced persons have been assisted with NFI kits, and 12,479 households in the Wamaza Health Zone have gained access to drinking water in Maniema Province. Thanks to this USAID funding,